AITA for distancing myself from my triplet sisters and family after years of feeling left out anyway? I'm 19F, a triplet. My sisters are identical twins and I was the fraternal twin. Even from the start my parents kind of separated me from them. My parents gave them matching names while I got a different name. They were dressed the same and I was dressed differently. They also made sure to take pictures of my sisters without me but never with me and one of them. There are photos of us together and of us individually but there was always a greater emphasis put on them being identical and they were treated more like twins than we were like triplets. Then other people would pair them and leave me out. They got referred to as twins a lot and as a collective we'd be twins, them, with their sister, me. It always made me feel kinda shitty. Sometimes people genuinely did not know we were triplets but others did but because of how matchy they were and because I was always different it was brushed over. As we got older I spoke up more about feeling left out. My parents would tell me I was being silly and I was just as loved and wanted as my sisters. But that was about it. They always dismissed it or laughed it off. My sisters would say it wasn't their fault or it wasn't a big deal. Some of our, but more like their, friends would make fun of the fact I wasn't really a part of the set. I was just there. A few of them even pointed out how my sisters always called me their sister but each other their twin. Back then I always tried to emphasize the triplet part and stopped when I realized I was on my own and it just made things weird or awkward. The only time my sisters seemed to care about me being left out was when people were actually wanting to see the triplets. Then they'd get upset if I was doing something. But I got so used to being almost ignored that I did step back sometimes. A few months before graduation I tried to sit my family down and talk about how hurt I was to feel left out and even pushed aside. I say tried because I didn't get to finish before being called silly and being asked where it was coming from and being talked over when I tried to explain. My sisters told me I just needed to let it go. That they always included me regardless so what was the big deal? But them including me often meant ignoring that I was there while dragging me after them. When we graduated they went to the same college and I went to a different college. They didn't include me in college talk so I didn't see a reason to chase after them. In college I've grown so much and made better friends. Friends who like and want to be around me and don't treat me like the extra who has to be there but isn't really wanted. I went to my grandparents for Christmas instead of my parents and had a nice Christmas with them. And this summer I'm actually staying with a friend from college and we're both working. My family only realized a couple of weeks ago that I wasn't coming home and they reached out to ask me when I'd be home. I told them I wasn't. Then I got asked by my sisters why I didn't call or text and I asked why they didn't. They said I always did that stuff. I said exactly. I always did it. Never them. Even when we lived together I'd be the one checking in with them. But I'm done doing that now. This is the most they initiated contact with me all year and honestly since we were younger kids when they at least acted like I was their triplet. I know this might sound weird to most people. I know some twins and triplets struggle with having their own identity and not being tied to their twins/triplets. So I get that being in my shoes might sound great to some. But it felt so lonely and like I could disappear and nobody would notice. And nobody really has noticed my absence until now. Ida?